Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today we're going to talk about some big Boohoo news that came out yesterday, which a few of you guys actually started messaging me on Instagram about it. I think it's because I had a day off not doing a video, but yeah, a few of you guys were dropping the information on Instagram, so if you do want to follow me on Instagram, the link to my Instagram is in the description below. But yeah, there was some big news that dropped out about Boohoo, which probably might lead the stock to double if you got some good entry prices when we had the drop in 2021, which would be a very nice return. And I think this information that came out about Boohoo was like the last piece in the jigsaw that it needed to really have a great 2021. So it was some fantastic news. Unfortunately, because of everything that was going on in the stock market, it was one of those where it was just not really focused on, everyone was focusing on, the banning travel and this new coronavirus that's a little bit more, that spreads a lot quicker than what the previous version did. I think that kind of took the headlines, and obviously there was a dip in the UK stock market. Even there was a little bit of a dip in the US stock market, and that did lead me to buy a few stocks, but I won't reveal them until later in the week. So if you do want to know when I am buying and selling stocks, there's a link to my patrons group, and on there I always post when I'm buying and selling stocks. And yeah, I was a bit active buying a few companies yesterday with that news that came out. But yeah, there was some really important information news about Boohoo, which was kind of just brushed under the carpet. And Boohoo's definitely been the stock this year that's really kept you on your toes. It's going up one day, and the next thing you know, the Guardian's out and it's down the next day. It's the one that's definitely been very entertaining to hold. I'll say the word entertaining. I don't know if that's the correct word for it, but yeah, it's definitely kept us on the toes. And for you guys that haven't been in Boohoo, or maybe you're only new to the company, yeah, there's been some big movements in the company in 2020. So first of all, we had the COVID situation, which then brought the stock down quite a bit because of the COVID situation. First time round bought in there, and it shot up very quickly within a couple of months, and I had an 85% gain on that one. I sold out. Next thing you know, we had the Leicester factory situation. The Leicester factory situation took the stock down once again, and the company seems to have put a lot of things in places now to make sure that doesn't happen. That's with a few appointments onto the board and make sure that a lot of these factories are a lot more vetted. The problem with Boohoo is that it was growing so quick, it just needed a lot of factories to make this clothing, and it wasn't doing the proper checks on it. Now the right people are in place to try and manage that a bit better. Hopefully it doesn't get linked with a lot of these Leicester factory situations once again that brings the stock down, because that's probably one of the main problems why the stock hasn't gone anywhere in 2020. But now that it's kind of managing that situation, hopefully we don't have it linked to the Leicester factory situation anymore. We heard the other day when Boohoo was talking to the MPs that they have terminated the contract. I think it was with like 60 or maybe a little bit more factories in Leicester. So that was one of the big problems why the stock really didn't go up even more in 2020. And this company definitely has the potential to be a £5 stock within the next 12 months. So that was one of the big news that brought it down. Now after it started recovering from that, the next thing we heard about was the auditors stepping away from Boohoo. And when the auditors stepped away from the company, that was the next dip that we had in the Boohoo share price, and that caused another drop in the share price, which I think I just topped up a little bit more on my position, and it went down quite a bit from there, the auditors stepping away. And that was PwC that stepped away as the auditor, which have been there for 7 years. Like I say, always weird timing, and we never kind of really got much detail on why they stepped away. We think it's more to do with like the reputation after the whole Leicester factory situation. But yesterday, Boohoo did appoint PKF Littlejohn to replace PwC as the auditor. So that's like the last piece of the puzzle that really caused problems for Boohoo in 2020. So like I said, it looks like they've made the right adjustments for the Leicester factory situation. And now with an auditor in place, that's probably the last thing that really stopped the stock from going up a lot more. And with that appointment in place, really, that should really see the company now from here, where it's about £3.12 right now, and should really see it go up to £5. And it's quite funny, really, because when you consider that drop that happened because of the auditor stepping away, that was like a 32% drop. But you look now, and the stock hardly moved off the auditor. And it's funny that the same information caused the stock to go down 30%, and now that problem's solved, the stock hardly moves. And it's just one of those sayings, the bulls take the stairs and the bears take the elevator. And you can see that right now, when bad news comes out, stocks just plummet so quick, but when good news comes out, it takes a while for the stock to go back up. So yeah, it really does show you how quick like a bit of fear can take over a stock, and that's what I say right now with the current stock market. A little bit of fear, and the stock market drops so quickly, and it's quite funny to see that sort of happen in Boohoo over the last kind of few months really. So with the two major problems that are in Boohoo now kind of solved, the Leicester factory situation, now with the auditor replaced, which really stopped Boohoo in 2020, with all that sorted out now going into 2021, and we think about the growth that Boohoo has been putting in as well in 2020, especially on that US growth front, if it could carry on pulling really good numbers out, which I'm sure it can do, especially with that US growth, then we should see this company with that amazing growth, now with all the major problems that stopped it going up, have a fantastic 2021, which will be really interesting to watch how this company does. And like I say, I think in 2021, if you bought this stock when all that fear was out and you're buying it in that £2.50 range, a lot of you guys now, I think that we could see £5 within the end of 2021 for this company, which would give 100% return in a year. It is a bit of an optimistic target, but I do think there is a chance that it will get there. And yeah, it's a great place that Boohoo are now in and solving a lot of them problems which caused it a massive headache in 2020. So yeah, overall pretty good news that's come out of Boohoo these last few months. Bit underappreciated on the share price, I think, as well. So yeah, great news overall. And that's the video for today, guys. And if you can smash the like button, that's absolutely amazing. If you are new, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.